And welcome back. So, I've got a coe hauler. You've probably seen some shorts and bits of it, but I've yet to discuss it. I went ahead and picked this up at Cyclone Hobbies, and they already had the servo installed for the lift, and they already had the light kit installed. So, they didn't charge me for the labor on that, just the parts they used. They let me drive it around, and I was sold. And one of the weird things, the lights kind of flicker. That's only through the camera. When I'm looking at it with my bare eyes, it's fine. Kind of weird. But I've decided to do a few mods to it, a few little upgrades, including those aluminum panels you see on the side. And I used some of the stickers out of the pinstriping kit because I love that stuff. Added a workable winch and some other scale details. Did the panel lines and a few other things. Never mind the noise, it's probably going to be a bit echoey. I have to do this in the kitchen because this thing is a monstrosity and it doesn't fit on any of my workbenches where I normally record. So, hang on and let the mods begin. So one of the first mods I went to do is I took the RC four-wheel drive Dimond plate, this stuff here. You can buy it, comes in 2 sheets, between $15 and $20 depending on where you buy it. And your Redcat Coe Hauler comes with 2 sets of these stickers for the drawers. So I took the other set, the set that wasn't chrome, and used them as my templates. And I traced them out on the back of the RC four-wheel drive. Make sure you do both sides different so you don't end up with 2 of the same side. And then I just used a piece of that and then these shears and cut them out. And then after that, I wanted the door handles to look kind of cool. And I didn't want them to just be a sticker. So I took this aluminum flashing. This is the same stuff you'd use on your roof. And I used that to cut out, I put the stickers on top of it and then cut out these little stickers with a set of scissors. And while I was at it, I went ahead and made a license plate frame to go on the back out of the aluminum flashing. And what I'm doing is I'll take these and I'll line them up with which one they go with, and then I'll scoot them back and line up the drawers to make, or the handles to make sure I got the latches in the right spot. And then I tack them down with the Gorilla Glue. And now I am going to line these up. I'll measure up where I want them to go and use a piece of masking tape across. And then I'll measure the gaps so I have my gaps set where I want them. And I'll just mark on the masking tape so I don't have to mark on the bed itself. And I'll set those in place and drill and screw them on. I'll be getting back with you on that. That's what it looks like after getting one side done. Not too bad for a guy who cut them out with a set of hand scissors. So this came out pretty cool looking. I added the pinstripes because I do love pinstripes. And I went ahead and did my panel lines. Super easy to do the panel lines on this. I just used a thin Sharpie. And I also got these little fire extinguishers. I got the sticker that goes around them, the bracket, and I've got one up here already that I've got taped in place, letting the glue set up. And I'll do the other one on the other side here. I'll leave links to all these little things I'm using. Here is the winch I decided to go with, and I did not go with it because it had any specific performance reviews I was looking at. I got this purely because I thought it would look really cool on the hauler. I thought the red anodized aluminum would look cool, and it's got the steel cable and the little different colored motor hanging out the side. And it comes with minimal stuff, but it does have a controller. So there is your controller here, and I believe you just hook this up to this splice into your main power. It says it will take 6 to 12 volts, so we should be good. And it does come with a remote, and I guess if you don't like remotes, it also comes with a manual toggle, which we will not be using. We're going to stick with this. I'm going to get the cab off of this thing, and I think that's going to be a good looking match for it. I'm going to get the cab off and see what we have underneath. I have the winch all successfully mounted up, which makes it nice because you can flip this up to get to everything to be able to shoot your screws in or whatever you need to do. This particular one, you have to remove that base plate and get a screw started through here and slide this little can cover off to be able to tighten it, and then you slide the can back on. But we have it working. So let me get this thing all buttoned back up, the wires dressed up, and we'll try to pull a vehicle up on the bed with the winch. Now there is under the hood of my Coe hauler. It is a mess of wiring. I have it straightened up as well as I can, so hopefully nothing will snake on the suspension or drivetrain. But time to pop the cab on and do a tow test. Coincidentally, I had the Ascent just sitting here, so I don't have any power onto it. Let's hope the wheels stay straight. I'll give this thing a test. And no problem. Excellent. I think that is going to wrap it up. All the mods work good, and that's just the coolest thing ever. I love watching that thing. But I think the doors turned out really cool looking, and I know other people have done it, but it's really easy to do yourself. You just have to buy that RC four-wheel drive sheeting. And aluminum flashing is pretty daggone cheap. The little winch turned out great for a little $20 winch. I'll leave links to that. Panel lines were simple in this thing. Redcat made these panel lines so thick that you can run a fine tip marker down them without any real risk of going offline and messing up your paint job. And like I said at the beginning, I really like this color. It's one of the few vehicles I haven't felt the need to repaint. It just needed to make it a little bit better looking. And I've got a lot more stuff coming in the future. So stay tuned for those mods. I hope you found some of this useful and enjoyable, and I hope to catch you on the next video. See you later, guys.